Any thoughts on food traceability, either as a requirement for a government program or as a QR code on packaging for customers? So we need to know one way in, one way out, or way in or way out. So we have to know where our seeds come from, and we're required to know where they went. So we follow traceability in that aspect. And as long as every block of the chain goes along with one way in, what's going in and what's going out, you would be able to trace your food fully. That's the requirement currently with the government for our GAP certification. We do have to have traceability. I think everyone should know which seed lots they're using, what everything they're using, all the inputs need to have information, and then you should know where you're selling things to. So traceability is very important. But
And what's a good way to trace that, Andy?
I don't know.
Is there
Maybe
a
a software that's
Hmm.
called FarmFlow. Yeah, I mean, I'm the developer of FarmFlow. That was my former life. You know, I did a lot of IT stuff back in the day. Did a lot of web-based applications. So that's how we track everything. It's gofarmflow.com. Super easy to get in touch with that. It's a free 30-day trial. We take 0 credit card up front. You literally never add a credit card until you're ready to pay your first invoice if you choose to use it. It's a little bit of setup because there's a lot of stuff you got to put in there. But once you get through that initial piece of it, it's pretty smooth sailing from there. We literally use it every day at our farm. But it has all the traceability stuff in there for GAP. You can do your seed lots. You can trace that all the way back to the beginning. You can also keep track of your cleaning records, your pest records, your soils that you're using, all that kind of stuff. I mean, there's so much things that it can do. So, yeah, I mean, if anybody wants like a one-on-one tour of it or anything, just reach out to me directly. I can walk you through the process. But even if you sign up just for the 30-day trial, there's a really great video, like as soon as you log in the first time, it walks you through the entire process. It's me. The funny thing is, when I did that video, the only thing that was aggravating is I didn't have this microphone in front of my face. I had it pushed off to the side.
Oh.
I didn't realize that until I was done the like hour and a half of recording. So the audio is not as good as what you're hearing right now, but it's definitely you can still hear me, thankfully. I was so frustrated when I was done. I was like, oh no, because this is usually sitting right here. This is my desk, so I usually shove it out of the way. It's on an arm, obviously, but yeah, it's fantastic. I mean, inventory tracking. It's got to-do lists that you can modify and add things to. It's got sowing to-do lists, harvest to-do lists. All your customers are in there. It's stupid fast. So it's just like, it does everything. As far as I'm concerned, and I'm not just saying this because I've looked at the others, but it's got more features than any of the ones that are out there at the moment, for sure. And I'm the guy that writes it, so that's the beautiful part. When something needs to be added, we get it done. So it's pretty cool.
He was thinking more of, they were thinking, I don't know who it is, more of a customer-facing system that shows the individual steps of that batch. I mean, it's possible. You could always put that into your website, share that information. You could always put
a QR code on the package.
Yep. And I will say, I saw this maybe 6 or 7 months ago. I think I posted it in one of my Facebook groups, or both of them, that grocery stores in the long run, probably in the next year or two, are going to be moving to QR codes and away from UPCs. So when somebody actually checks out, it'll read the QR code to actually check them out. And what you can do with that QR code is the customer can also scan that QR code. It takes them to a website, and it's basically like product ID driven or whatever, and it'll have information on the product. You can have all the traceability information in there too. So it's like a 2-for-1 basically. The grocery store can use it to check people out, and the customer actually scans it. They can get a bunch of information, which is cool. That way they can see like what the seed lot was and all this kind of stuff if you want to put that on there. So it's something worth looking into, because I think that's going to be probably by like 2027. That's probably going to be in almost every grocery store in the country. I know like Whole Foods and places like that are already using that system. So obviously they still have a backup, for UPCs, but I think in the long run, you're going to find it's just more information, that you can provide in a QR code than you ever can at a UPC. It's literally 10 or 12 digit number, and that's it. And there's nothing else. A QR code allows literally unlimited amounts of information. So just cool. You can put recipes on there, do all kinds of crap if you want to. Depending how far you want to go with it.
Label real estate is valuable.
For sure.
It sure is. My God.
And you don't have to have that QR code that's big. You can have a QR code that's that small. It's there. Yep. They can still be read.
It's nice.
Awesome. All right. Well, I think that looks like that's it on the questions that we have. We appreciate you guys all joining. We love answering questions. We're here every 2 weeks. So we'll be back on August 17th. We'll do part 2 of this, unlocking your full-time income, and taking your questions at the end. You don't have to wait to the end to put questions in. You can put them out throughout, especially if it's something about what we're talking about. and we'll bring the question up immediately at that point. So don't be shy of asking questions throughout the show as well. Make sure you like this video if you're here. Subscribe to the channels, all the channels. You guys would appreciate that highly. If you can go to that, you got Andy's channel. It's just your name, right, Andy?
Yeah, just Andy Musaw. I have a Fresh Source Farms channel as well, but it doesn't really have much on there. I just use that more for the business, and it's not microgreens education, basically, when it boils down to it. Our channels are very different, and Mike does a lot of instructional stuff. I do a lot more like detailed, crazy detailed in some cases, reviews, things like that. Just show you kind of weird tools that we've come up with. So it's kind of all over the map, but between the two channels, you're going to learn a ton. And that'll also kind of give you guidance on how to get into bigger spaces and move on in the future. If you ever move out of your house, you know, it gives you kind of some things to think about, some ideas, things like that. So yeah, there's two very good powerhouses. I mean, you guys have done a fantastic job over the years with your channel. So
thank you.
I always give you major props for that.
It's work.
So, yeah.
Editing videos is not fun.
Has to edit it.
Yes. But yeah, and make sure you guys, if you want to go deeper, obviously we have our two groups. They're in the chat. Everything else, join that. So you can right now get both of us for $36. Actually, 5 people for $36 between my wife, myself, Andy, Josh, and Robert in the other group, and along with the dedicated communities that are focused on microgreens that people ask questions and you guys can interact with people. You can message the other people in the group and connect with them and find things out from them. It's just a great community aspect of it. It's why I love the school program, school spelled SKOOL.com. And there's a lot of other great things on there too you can get on. So I hope to see you guys over there. I hope to see you guys in both groups. We would appreciate it, and we'd love to help you more.